What Wayne's level of play is obviously skyrocketed. What do you attribute that to?
Well, just, mentorship, coaching, that's what it's got to be, right?
Beyond that.
No, we don't have anything to do with it. It's him. He's more confident. The summer really helped him. He's driving the ball to set up his shot as opposed to just hoping he makes shots to set up everything else and playing much smarter. But he's playing at a really high level now.
Could you draw it up any better, 24-4 to start the?
No. Then we kind of puttered around. We fouled so much, and their best offense was us fouling, and we went stale. And went in up 14, and then the second half we kind of traded baskets for a while. Then I thought we put together a really good 10 minutes in the second half too. So we did a lot of good things today, and we shared the ball.
You like having a guy like Selden, who some talked about being one and done when he got here, but he stays for a sophomore year, now he's back for junior year. You can watch the evolution. Is that enjoyable to you?
Yeah, but you know what? What's not fair is for a kid that's coming in that's a really highly recruited player, but just because you're a top 20 player in the country doesn't mean you're a one and done guy. Wayne had a great freshman year, and he had probably an average sophomore year based on what expectations were, but it was right where he needed to be in his natural maturation process. And so, hopefully he's going to continue to play well, and hopefully he can make a decision after this year whether he wants to go or come back. But there's so many things that go into it, and he had Wiggs the first year, he had Kelly and some other guys the second year, and he was able to kind of benefit from those guys being on the team, but now he feels like it's more his team. It wasn't his team the first 2 years, and although it's not totally his team because other guys definitely take ownership in it, but he feels like he has a much bigger role now than what he's ever had.
So about that selflessness and sharing the ball you're talking about with guys with this talent, that doesn't always happen. What do you attribute that to?
I think they like each other. That's kind of a trite thing or a coach speak thing to say, but it is true. You like each other off the court, and then the other thing is, you can like guys off the court and not enjoy being with them on the court. And these guys actually like playing together. So, and for the most part, it's we stress, we emphasize all those things, but it's contagious. When 1, 2, 3 do it, then they all want to follow suit, and that's kind of the expectation. So, we don't always look good like that, sharing the ball, and of course it helps when the ball goes in the hole. But for the most part, when we don't play well, it's not because we don't look out for each other.
How contagious is Graham's enthusiasm?
All right. Well, I think Devontae is a great compliment to Frank because Frank's not like that. Frank. I think he may have during introductions, guy may have to nudge him to make sure he's awake to go out there. He doesn't show emotion like that, even though he's a fierce competitor, as everybody knows. But Devontae is one of those guys that smiles and has personality, and this team needs that. I think that we can be a little bit stone-faced and not quite as enthusiastic, and I think Devontae and Carlton more than anybody else bring that to us.
Bill, do you think Wayne had a little trouble finding his place based on what you said, like late last year?
I think we played him out of position. I think it's, you get Wiggs and you get Kelly, and so they're the 3-man, and so now he's forced to be a ball handling guard. And in the first year that with Wiggs, it was Wiggs, Wayne, and Nadir, and we didn't have one guy that could really go break it down and go help anybody else. Last year it was a little bit better because we had Frank out there majority of the minutes, but you can look up, and this isn't anything negative because certainly we're glad we had them and they were great for us. But you can Devontae and Frank's assist total for the season's probably already far surpassed what our 2 and 3 men. I mean what Wiggs and Kelly did those particular years, and so I don't think Wayne got as much help in setting himself up. So I think a lot of it was us because we put our 5 best players out there, but I don't know if the pieces really fit as well because we didn't have enough ball handling in the game, if that makes any sense at all.
You talked about changing Wayne's talked about changing his technique and his shot after his freshman year, way back referred to it as. Is there any particular thing you can see as to why
No.
you should take it to this level?
No, I don't think so. And certainly we haven't done anything to break his shot down and start all over again at all. You know, his freshman year, I don't know if you guys remember, he was off to a miserable start shooting the ball, and he goes to Oklahoma and goes for like 26 and kind of got his confidence going early in the league play, but he didn't shoot the ball consistently at all his first 2 years. And I think a lot of it's just hard work he's put in. I mean, he's put in a lot of time.
Bill, Hunter gave 2 quick fouls and had to sit, but I thought, you know.
He was good.
Yeah, is this the next step for him?
Yeah, I thought this was the best game he's had. You know, because you know, 7 points obviously is an unbelievable production, but 7, 6, and 3 block shots. I thought he was active, and I do think his length bothers people. And he's a good shot blocker. You know, he blocked a lot of shots at Arkansas, but I thought all our bigs contributed and did some good things today, all 6 of them. But I really felt like that Hunter today was the best he's played as a starter in the minutes that he got.
Phil, I don't mean to sound obsequious, but it seems like a very balanced, complete team.
What was the word you used?
Advocacy.
No, what was the word you used?
Obsequious?
Obsequious?
Obsequious.
Okay. I know what that means. I'm just seeing if everybody else does.
Do you see a hole? Do you see a hole on this team?
Yeah,
Is there
yeah.
an Achilles hole?
I don't know if I see a hole, but I see deficiencies. I see areas that we got to get better at. You know, and the thing about it is when you play and coach, you try to do it in a way that you play away from your deficiencies. So sometimes they're not exposed. But yeah, there's some things that we don't do near as well as what we got to do to have a good run. Excuse me?
Like what?
Well, we don't defensively rebound at all, like we should. Offensively rebound, we probably get a lower percentage than just about everybody in our league back. Of course, that's a little misleading because we've shot a pretty good percentage, but I'm talking about the percentage of misses. You know, tight game, late game situations. Do we have anybody we can throw it to on the block and go get fouled, or 2 points? You know, so there's a lot of things that we can do better, without question. But I do have confidence in this. With our guards, it's nice, you know, and we've talked about Wayne. Wayne's been terrific. He's been lights out. He's been our best player, hands down. But it's a lot easier to play when those 2 little guys are out there with him. And I do have confidence in those guys being able to guard the ball and those guys being able to make plays for others.
What do you see from Oklahoma?
You know what? I haven't studied them like I will. I've watched them play the 3 games in Hawaii. They score so easy. And Lon is the best at giving guys freedom offensively. They play at the free mind. You know, we're talking about Wayne having 24 today, which is great. Well, Buddy's averaging more than 24. So that tells you what kind of year he's having. And you know, they can stretch it from just about every spot. And their first shot defense is exceptional. They're maybe in the top 5 or 10 in the country in field goal percentage defense. So they've got a good team, and we got an experienced team, but we're not near as experienced as what they probably are as far as, you know, minutes played. I mean, you know, I could be wrong, but Buddy started most every game since he's been there. Cousins has started 3 years now. Woodard started every game since he's been there. Spangler started every game since he's been there in the transfer. I mean, they got a really deep team and an experienced team. I shouldn't say deep as much as experienced, because they're all probably going to play 7 or 8 guys, but they've got a really experienced team.
Bill, I know you probably don't care about the polls at this time of year, but you guys haven't been number 1 since 2011, so it's been a while. Is that a benchmark to get back there, or just to be in the conversation?
Well, I think it's I think it's fun to be part of the group, part of the conversation. I think it's, you know, we still got to sign some kids, so you know, it makes a good recruiting mail out, and, you know, get some things like that. But the reality is, I'd rather be 1. You know, in 2011, we were number 1 when the season ended, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe we were in 10 also. I can't remember, but so we had a, you know, I'd rather be there at the end than now. But I think it could be nice. Well, what'll be really cool, and you guys have probably thought about this, but you know, it doesn't happen very often where 1 plays 1, because if OU wins, they'll be 1 in the coaches poll. So you know, 1 versus 2 happens, but 1 versus 1. I mean, how often does that happen? So that makes for I think that makes for a pretty interesting storyline.
Anything else? Thanks, Coach.